All right, theoretically it is recording, but every time I assume it's recording, it is not. So, let us now fill time. Hello, dorks.
Hello, other dorks.
Hello, chat.
Hello, Chewie.
I didn't realize chat sounded like that. Wolfie said, "We all know what happens when
youngster.
you assume." Yeah, how does the saying go? When you assume, you get shot in the face. No, when you assume, you get run over by a truck. No,
full of nuns.
A bus full of nuns. That's what it was. I knew it was something like that. Also, it's hot in here. Hang on, I have to take off my socks. Something about podcast. I could sit here and stream all night and not have a problem. As soon as I start podcasting, and this has been the case for years now. This was always a problem when I was back before I started in the office. You know, I would just podcast sitting either in the living room with the laptop or in my office or my bedroom when I had the office in there. For some reason, doing the podcast raises my body temperature. I don't know if it's because I really enjoy it or if, like, you guys...
It's the uncertainty of the unknown.
I don't think it's enraged. I was thinking aroused, but okay, enraged, aroused, either one of those. It could. Why not both? So I'm gonna. Ow, that hurt. I'm gonna go turn the thermostat down a notch. I'll be right back.
And while he's doing that, I'm gonna go check and make sure my kids haven't destroyed the upstairs.
All right. I remember watching an episode of some sitcom, and they did the, you know what happens when you assume. It's like, you know what happens when you assume you make an ass out of me and you. And the other person responded, that's an ass me you. To your laugh track.
You know what happens when you ask me you, right? Also, I wonder if it's because
I think it was according to Jim. Gosh.
Oh, I remember that show. I wonder if it's because I had the overhead light on instead of the normal lamps that I use for streaming. I don't know. Ask me you. I like that.
It was according to Jim, I remember now.
So, I'll assume that 3 minutes of recording means that surely the recording has kicked in by now. So let's get started. Okay, before we get started, Pinball Witch said, she always goes back to Sam Jackson's lines from The Long Kiss Goodnight. You know what happens when you make an assumption? You make an ass out of you and umption.
Oh, boy.
Need to see that movie. Okay, anyway. Here we go for real now. Ow, jam! Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Mana Pool. This is the Mana Pool number 553. I know because I checked. Oh, did Dirk leave?
Yeah, I forgot to tell you that.
Oh.
He went to go check to see if the kids had destroyed the upstairs.
Oh.
That's right, yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you guys let me start before he got back. Without telling me.
I'm a helper.
I got up to do something, Rook came down, are we good? Okay, let's go. And just started going, and nobody stopped me. So, so hello, listeners. Both live and recorded later. There's a small glimpse into how things work around here. They don't. So yes, I am... I'll just go. I'm Chewy. I am the lead dork. And joined by most of, and soon to be all of, the other dorks.
I'm Brian. I'm the lead rambler, tangent master of the group. This is usually where I say something witty, but feel like I feel bad for not catching the dark thing. So I'm just gonna go. Yeah, I'm Brian. Woo!
I'm Mike. I'm the rules guy and the game lore guy. And yeah, I should have said something to Chewie when he got back that Dirk wasn't back yet. But should have, would have, could have. Now we're here. Oh well. 10th Tech Priest says the mana pool is performed in front of a live internet audience.
This is true these days, yes. And
Yes.
Pinball Wits threw 10 bits with bad at this game. Accurate. So... Oh, wait. Is he back?
Yep.
Hey, who are you? Because they didn't tell me that you left.
Person guy dude.
So
What?
Person guy dude. That's my name.
Our special guest, Person Guide. No, we're doing intros. Who are you?
Oh. I'm Dirk, the self-proclaimed greatest man alive and moral compass of the group.
Nice.
And also person guy dude.
That's
Apparently.
his internet handle, his alter ego, his superhero name. Why not all of these?
Yes.
It's his D&D character. It's his. It's a floor wax. It's a dessert topping. So yes, this is episode 553. Apologies to everyone for not doing an episode last week. It was, well, it wasn't unavoidable, but it was pretty much unavoidable. You may or may not know, my mom has been gone for 3.5 months. She went to take care of her mother after an emergency surgery and just stayed taking care of Nana. And last Thursday, which is when we record the show, she called me. She's like, your dad is in serious pain. Drive over there and go check on him. I said, okay. And turns out the old man, we're pretty sure, because this has happened before, had a kidney stone. And he was in ungodly, god-awful pain just all day. Just all day. And Mom poked me later and said, I'm coming home tonight. She was already going to come home on Tuesday after she took Nana to like a final doctor's appointment. But the old man being in horrible pain, she's like, no, I'm coming home a few days early. She's like, you can go home and do the show if you want. And I went, okay. And then I thought, okay, Mom will be home in 5 hours, which means if I leave at this time, that leaves the old man here without anyone for like 3 hours. And right as I was doing these calculations, like, he got worse. And I went, or I could just stay here, and then I could see Mom, who I haven't seen in almost 4 months. So, yeah, we didn't do a show. So, sorry, but not sorry. Not at all. It was really good to see Mom again. Because anyone who's listened to the show for a long time knows I'm a mama's boy. So, it was good to see Mom again. And I got to make sure the old man was okay.
Yeah, that was a good call.
He was fine the next day. Apparently, the stone passed through the painful bit, which I think is from the kidney to whatever's next.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, I haven't taken anatomy since high school, so I don't remember. But apparently, that's the worst part. It is reportedly the closest that a man can feel to childbirth. And I've heard enough horror stories about childbirth to know I'm good. Nah, I'm good. I don't ever want to. Nah. Ugh. But anyway, so that means we didn't get to do what we did last week because we didn't do last week. But now we can't do it this week because this week we've got Modern Horizons previews, which snuck up on me. I didn't even know these were coming already. Did you guys?
I think they told us about it at some point, but I had forgotten that. Like this week was when stuff was going down.
I think I saw last week that they put up the thing about here's where you can find the previews. And I was like, okay, cool. But it didn't really occur to me what that meant for us. So
yeah. So yeah, on Sunday when cards started to appear, I went, wait, what? And then on Monday they were like, here's all these previews. I said, what? Oh. So sorry if you were looking forward to, what is it we were going to do last week? A Mythic Inscription of Weatherlight?
Yeah, I think so.
Yep, but we'll get to that eventually.
Yeah, that's not going anywhere. The oddly enough, the Weatherlight is vaguely thematic for what's going on in Magic these days because the Weatherlight was the Weatherlight set was the beginning of the last time that a story took over Magic for multiple years at a time, like we just wrapped up with War of the Spark.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, and it happens to be the next one on the list going chronologically, so that's even better. But doesn't matter, because that's not what we're doing this week. Something to look forward to, though, because I bet that'll be fun. I didn't actually look at the set yet. But anyway, so Modern Horizons preview started. Where do we start? What was like the first big thing? It was the Force, wasn't it?
I guess. I mean, okay. Like the first thing they showed Sarah and something else a while ago.
Sarah and the Cabal.
Oh yeah, the Cabal Therapist.
Cabal Therapist.
Did we talk about those at all?
I think we did when they first showed them a while ago.
Yeah.
I assume we did.
I can't see how we wouldn't have. I realize we're not generally a news site, but I can't imagine we didn't.
Well, here, let's knock those out real quick, just in case, because I swear I can't remember.
Okay.
All right, so if we go to this... Hey, look, there's Cabal Therapist. Look at him. So real quick, because we might have done this on the show already, Cabal Therapist, this was the very first card we saw from Modern Horizons, like a month or so ago, possibly more. It had to be more. I think this was before War of the Spark previews, wasn't it?
It certainly was.
Yeah.
This was some time ago, yeah.
So Cabal Therapist, for single black mana, is a 1/1 horror with menace that at the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, essentially you flashback Cabal Therapy. You may sacrifice a creature. When you do, choose a non-land card name. Then target player reveals their hand and discards all cards with that name, which is Cabal Therapy, and the flashback is sacrifice a creature. So that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
So this is already a good card on legs.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a 1/1 with menace for a single black. Like, what's not to like?
Yeah.
The fact that it has to survive a turn? Okay.
That is a nice little self-balancing factor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, if they use some manner of removal on your 1/1 with menace, hey, bonus!
Yeah.
They're probably using the card you were going to make them discard anyway, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you still made them discard a card. You even made them pay mana to do it.
Sick. It also doesn't say sacrifice this creature. So
No.
Yeah, just whatever.
Very important.
It's a
Very
repeatable
important.
effect.
Mm-hmm.
Was Sarah first? I thought the Cabal Therapist was first.
I really don't
They were revealed at the same time, I'm pretty sure.
They were in the same article.
Well, they were in the same stream. I thought this one was the first one they showed, and then they showed Sarah, and we all lost our mind.
Oh, I didn't watch the stream. I just know they showed up in the same article later or something.
I was pretty sure they were at the same time, so...
Anyway.
Yeah. So there we go. Cabal
Semantics.
Therapist. It's cool. It's the art is a throwback. Because if you go, let's see, Gatherer. Here we go. If you go to Gatherer, type in Cabal Therapy. Not this art, the original art. You can see that thing in the art is the thing that's on, where'd he go? Cabal Therapist, which is really cool. All right.
Oh,
So yeah. We also knew, I think soon after, maybe not soon, but sometime after this reveal stream that showed off these two cards, Rosewater hinted that Modern Horizons was going to be like Time Spiral 2. It's just a jumble of mechanics and nonsense and throwbacks and references and nostalgia, and it's going to be awesome. And I said, that sounds cool.
Yeah. I really
wrote
like
in this week's article that it came out of a series of brainstorming exercises where his suggestion was basically Future Sight 2, and someone else's suggestion was Time Spiral 2, and the person running the exercises was like, "I think you guys have something here."
Yeah, you
¿Por
guys,
qué no los dos?
you guys need to get together on this and get back to me. I really like that because this addresses so many of the issues with Time Spiral. Just being able to say, okay, this doesn't have to go into standard, and this isn't maybe a product that, because it's going to be in standard, people feel like, oh, I need to keep up with this or I'm going to fall behind. It's going to be legal for X years. No, this is
Right.
more of a semi-eternal product, and it's great.
Yeah, because Time Spiral, Planar Chaos, and Future Sight did alienate quite a number of players because it was so difficult to understand for people who hadn't been playing, 10 years.
Yeah,
It was okay for us because we were used to seeing cards from all over the place. So playing Time Spiral Block Sealed was like playing a game of Magic.
Yeah. But for other
Yeah.
people, it's like, what? Huh? Ah?
It was definitely it's like playing a 60 card multiplayer game that we always played. Was just what Time Spiral Block Limited even was like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the first card. The second card they showed blew everyone away, and it was Sarah the Benevolent.
Yes.
And just damn.
It's beautiful. And it's also awesome. Sarah the Benevolent is a legendary planeswalker. Sarah, she costs 2 and 2 white, much like a Sarah's Embrace. Comes in with 4 loyalty. +2, creatures you control with flying get +1/+1 until end of turn. +2, anytime you see a +2, you're like, all right, that's pretty good. -3, create a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying and vigilance. And then -6, you get a worship token. And I know for a fact that we talked about this on the show because we were like, hey, look, worship.
Yeah, you're right.
You get an emblem with, if you control a creature, damage that would reduce your life total less than 1 reduces it to 1 instead.
Yeah. That's pretty good. Like, what does Sarah Angel cost?
5.
Would you play Sarah Angel if she came with a planeswalker that had 1 loyalty for 1 less mana?
I would consider it, sure.
Yeah. Seems good. Just saying. Seems good. Not like busted, but good and solid and good.
Good, solid, and good.
It's got very solid ability, and as Brian always likes to talk about this, the Sarah has the ability to defend herself with her second ability, and it goes well with the limit break in that as long as that angel's there, you can't lose the game for the most part.
Mm.
Yeah, it's pretty great. So those are the 2 that we saw just a long time ago. I'm pretty sure it was more than a month ago.
Yeah, I think it was well over a month ago.
It was a while.
So then, I think the next big thing was this. The Force of Negation. This was the first one I saw that made me sit up and read it and misread it and misread it again. And finally, I think on like the 4th read, I got everything right. And I went, are you serious?
The first card I saw was, other than those other 2, was the one that Rosewater previewed on Monday. But this is really interesting for sure. Well, what to do?
Hey, Mike, what's it do?
All right. For 1 blue, it's a rare instant. If it's not your turn, and this is a part of all the cards in the cycle that we've seen so far, I think we haven't seen the red one yet. If it's not your turn, you may exile a blue card from your hand rather than pay this spell's mana cost. Counter target non-creature spell. If that spell is countered this way, exile it instead of putting it into its owner's graveyard.
So, remember, Modern Horizons is a set that is dumping how many? 254 plus 1, 255 cards into standard that have never been there before, whether they are reprints of things outside of standard or new cards. This is clearly a new card.
And I just wanted to say, for the record, I want to make sure every single card, including the reprints, is not currently in Modern. That's correct?
Correct.
That is correct.
All right, thank you. Please continue.
And so this card, you can't just reprint Force of Will for Modern.
No.
Like, you just can't. I don't even know if it's on the reserve list, but let's not get into that discussion.
No.
But Force of Will is...
It would warp the format.
It would warp the format in ways that it doesn't need to be warped.
Yeah.
And so this is, I think it was LSV on Twitter who said it's a counterspell that stops shenanigans, and that's it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, because you can't, like, during your turn, you can't pitch a card to counter someone that's trying to stop your stupid combo.
Right.
You have to pay your mana to stop your stupid combo, and presumably you're using your mana for your stupid combo. But you can use it during your opponent's turn by pitching a card to stop their stupid combo.
Yes.
But if they're like Craterhoof Behemoth, you're like, damn. As it says, non-creature spell. And exiling the card instead of going to the graveyard, because the graveyard in Modern is starting to become just another library, I think, as Mike likes to say.
Yeah.
So I really love and I went off on this on Monday Night Magic, so apologies if you're hearing this for the second time, but I really love the design that went into this to give Modern a way to stop spell-based busted combo decks without hurting Modern.
Yeah, without having another oppressive control card. Like, the reason Modern needed something like Force of Will because it needed an oh crap button. You know. And Force of Will just does a little too much other stuff. Like Chewy was saying, Force of Will can also protect your ridiculous combo. It can also let you tap out to do stuff during your turn and then, you know, counter your opponent's creature during their turn. You know, stuff like that. That's not what they wanted. They just needed the oh crap button to stop the silly spell-based combos.
Yeah, like the safety valve.
Yes.
Ow. Which I could use right now to keep from hitting my desk with various parts of me. Ow. So yeah, I like this card. I don't know if this will do anything good or bad in the format because it's a bad negate on your turn. Okay, maybe not a bad negate because of the exile clause, but it's a bad negate. Let's be real.
Yeah, I mean it is pretty dumpy. It's you don't want to pay a whole nother colored mana just for that exile clause. That's a lot.
Yeah. So hopefully the fact that this card exists, whether it sees play or not, the fact that this card exists is nice for the health of the format.
Mm-hmm.
Just in general. Yeah. Now, for a more in-depth analysis on that, there's a bazillion other podcasts you could listen to. That's not why you're here. Because if you want how it's going to impact the modern meta, then are you high? What are you doing in this podcast?
It's an oddly personal question, Chewy.
Well, I mean, there's got to be some sort of explanation for why you would come here looking for that. So let's just assume you're not looking for that and then move on. We have a lot of cards here, and there's so many that are just nuts. I don't even know how to do it, so I'll just turn you guys loose. Is there anything that when you saw it, you just kind of pooped a little?
I like Ursa.
Ursa did make people poop a little, yeah.
Yeah, High Lord, Lord High Artificer.
Oh god, That is backwards, isn't it?
Yeah. For 2 and 2 blue, legendary creature, human artificer, mythic. He's a 1/4. When Urza Lord High Artificer enters the battlefield, create a 0/0 colorless construct artifact creature token. That is a very long word. Colorless construct artifact creature token. With this creature gets +1/+1 for each artifact you control. That in itself, to me, feels like wow.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's what.
Because
Isn't that what Karn makes?
The one from Dominaria block?
Yeah.
Yes. Not Dominaria block, Dominaria set.
Well, okay, yeah, that.
It is the block and the set, so
Yeah, the
You're-
Dominaria set block.
You're right twice.
it makes sense then that because that it's Urza and he made Karn, so it makes a lot of sense that they would do very similar.
Empower
things.
him with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and that's not it, because he also says tap an untapped artifact you control, add blue mana.
Whew.
Oh, but wait, that's not all. For 5 colorless mana, or 5 generic mana, shuffle your library, then exile the top card. Until end of turn, you may play that card without paying its mana cost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, a thing that people have said at this point ad infinitum, and I think they said this for the last Master set too, was Modern Horizons, this looks more like Commander Horizons. I don't have a camera on me, but I'm making a face like, eh.
Yeah. I mean, Commander cards do get printed in every set.
True, yeah. And this was, when this was shown, was one of the first times that I actually saw that multiple times in a row and rolled my eyes. So...
I mean, yeah, the last ability, that temporal aperture ability, is a very Commander ability. But the first 2 abilities,
Yeah, those first 2 abilities seem kind of modern-y.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Temporal Aperture, that's the card. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, it took me a while to...
I could not remember
Figure
the
it
name of that. So yeah, Urza's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Plus he's a 1/4 for 4, so you know that stat line doesn't matter at all. So yeah.
I don't think he's going to be the commander that you're attacking somebody with. I definitely think he's going to be the commander that you flash in flashy abilities, and all of a sudden you're like, as all this stuff comes flying out of the air.
That is accurate, yeah.
He's not wrong. And then let's not forget about turning all of your artifacts into Moxen.
Yeah.
Just,
And also note, you can tap, this is important, you can tap the construct that he just made for mana the turn you play him, because that's an ability on Urza. It's not a tap ability on your artifacts. If he said artifacts you control have tap add blue, you couldn't.
Yeah.
But he doesn't say that. And I'm pointing at the camera as if I have a camera on me, but you know what I mean.
Because it says tap an untapped artifact you control.
Yeah, it's the same reason, to put it in terms that Dirk has done so many times that I want to punch him. It's the same reason you can play 2 beasts and then tap them for Cryptic Gateway, and then tap that for more Cryptic Great Gateway. It's
to just drop a crap load of beasts onto the table.
Yeah. So that's important. It bypasses summoning sickness. But all right then. So Urza's cool. Also, it's really trippy to have an Urza card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually what drew me to this.
Well, yeah.
You hear about Urza, all this, and Urza and all that, and it's like, hey, wait a second, he has a card. I knew he had like a big card at some point, but This is the first time I've actually seen him with
Yeah.
a card that I actually could potentially purchase and play in a normal game of Magic.
He had a Vanguard card, didn't he?
Yeah, that's what Dirk meant by the big card.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he had a Vanguard card. He was technically depicted on Blind Seer.
Yeah.
He had a Planeswalker card in Unstable.
Yeah, Urza's head. What was that called? Urza. What was the name of that card?
Was it
Urza
just called
Headmaster?
Yeah, Urza Headmaster. You're right.
Yeah. So, and Jay Spencer said, I don't think any deck with Urza in it is playing a normal game of Magic. Correct.
Probably not. I think there's a way to play it fairly. I'm sure there is.
Yeah, there's got to be.
There's a way to play every Magic card fairly.
Yes.
We should mention this too. Flusterstorm is the Buy a Box promo for Modern Horizons, but there's a twist. Do you guys know the twist?
I haven't heard the twist.
Yes.
What's the twist?
The twist is a dance that you do
Okay.
like you did last summer.
I hate you.
Yeah, you
But
do.
No.
The twist is that Flusterstorm, as a Buy a Box promo, will not be foil.
Okay. Why do I care?
Because foil Buy a Box promos have been causing problems when they're playable.
Yeah, they have
Like
warping
Nexus
problems
of
because
Fate.
they're foil.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
So this is a positive thing.
This is a
All right.
positive thing for everyone who actually wants to play Flusterstorm in Modern in sanctioned tournaments. This is a totally awesome thing. Yeah, like if you're playing in a sanctioned tournament with a Nexus of Fate, then you have to go see the judge and get a proxy.
Well, if they become warped.
Which means you have to go see a judge and get a proxy because they are.
That was the sigh of hate.
Hey, he only hates me because it's true. But anyway.
It's like, my Nexus of Face aren't warped. So it's like, well, I guess I don't know that. I haven't looked at them in a few weeks.
But yeah, Flusterstorm, by the way, for those who don't know, for a single blue is an instant that says counter target instant or sorcery spell unless its controller pays 1 mana, and it has Storm. And this was from I think the very first Commander set?
I think so.
Yeah. And so that's really neat. So hey, get your Flusterstorms, buy a box, or wait till they're on the secondary market, whatever.
Snow-covered lands are coming back.
Yeah, and they're super sweet, dude.
Yes, they are.
Check these full art snow-covered lands out. By the way, anyone who's listening to this in audio form, if you haven't been to the card image gallery to look, please go look, because these especially are just gorgeous.
They are beautiful.
Like, I'm not gonna lie, I really want some of the islands and the mountains, and actually even the swamp. I really like the snow-covered swamp.
Yeah. It's understated a little bit. So
Yeah.
my
And-
favorite is probably either the plains. No, I actually really like all of them.
Yeah.
I really like the forest.
I was leaning toward the forest.
The blue sticking out of the snow on the plains is...
Yeah, I think that's what kind of got me. So everyone has. I feel like the mountain is maybe my least favorite, not because it's bad, but I just think I maybe like the others a little better. So yeah.
Yeah, but snow mana is back, and snow permanents are a thing in this set. Like, what? There's a
The snake.
Yeah, where is he? There he is. Tell us about
It's
the
in
snake.
The snake is the Ice Fang Coatl. Is that how you pronounce that? Coatl?
It is.
Coatl. For a green and a blue. It is a 1/1 snow creature snake. It is rare. It has flash and it has flying. A snake with flying. That is terrifying. Yeah. And when the screen moved away. When it enters the battlefield, you draw a card. And it has Death Touch as long as you control at least 3 other snow permanents. So, yeah. Not bad.
Yeah, that is really good. So if you're serious about playing snow, it's a Baleful Strix with Flash, basically.
Yes, which should terrify the pants off of you when you think of it that way. The pants.
I'm sorry, I was thinking of the only thing I could think of that was worse than a flying snake.
What's that? A flying spider?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm sure you could guess without trying real hard.
A swimming spider.
No, those are
Spider
real.
A spider that swims and flies. Super spider.
And has Flash.
Anybody seen the trailers for Brightburn? That looks really
Spider with a-
interesting.
That does look really cool.
Yeah. It's like Smallville, but twisted.
But a horror movie.
Yeah. Which is not something I'd ever thought I'd say. So, but anyway. So Ice Fang Coatl is pretty cool.
Yeah. There's another snow permanent on here. Hey, Dirk, did you see the Abominable Tree Folk?
What color? Oh,
gold.
the abominable tree. There you go. Okay. I have not, so I'm going to read it to all you. Abominable Tree Folk. For 2, a green and a blue. It's a uncommon snow creature tree folk that has, star for power and toughness. It has trample. Abominable Tree Folk's power and toughness are each equal to the number of snow permanents you control. When Abominable Tree Folk enters the battlefield, tap target creature and opponent controls. That creature doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step.
I just want to point out real quick, and I saw that Chewy posted a link to this question on Twitter. If you're going to a limited event that uses Modern Horizons No, you cannot bring along your own snow-covered lands and just be like, hey, look, 20 snow-covered lands. Matt Tabak answered this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can only use the ones that you opened. So don't. If I see you, put down a 7th one, I'm calling a judge right away. Heck, I might be calling a judge at number 5 because that's awfully convenient. But
yeah, and when you're drafting this, don't take the snowlands out of the pack.
Yeah, leave them in there. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so here's another snow permanent, really, was all I was getting at. Plus, it's a giant, it's essentially a Yeti tree folk, which makes me happy. So let's see. Is there anything else snowy that's worth talking about while we're on snow?
Is there anything else in the card image gallery?
I don't see the word snow permanent or snow anything in a type line anywhere.
Oh, there's a chiller pillar.
Oh god, yeah, the chiller pillar. Look at this. This is freaking amazing.
This is nice.
This is Ice Mothra.
This is one of the best things about Time Spiral was the flavor, as long as you actually understood what they were going for. And you look at this and you go, oh, cool. And then you read it and then you're like, oh, that's awesome. As long as you have ever seen a butterfly in your life, which if you haven't, I'm really sorry for you.
Well, I mean, yeah, check out the internet sometime. So Chiller Pillar, for 3 and a blue, is a 3/3 snow insect, who's common. A snow creature insect. Snow is a super type. Insect is the creature type. Okay. And for 4 and 2 snow mana is mana of any flavor that comes from a snow permanent, like the snow-covered lands. Okay, that's important. So for 4 and 2 snow mana, it has Monstrosity 2. Do you remember Monstrosity?
Yeah, it was awesome.
I loved it.
Monstrosity says you can pay the cost and put X number of counters on it, so in this case, Monstrosity 2. And you can only do this if it has not happened before.
Yeah, it was the main forerunner to the adaptability that we recently saw.
Yeah, so
Is that right?
If you make your Chiller Pillar monstrous, and then something removes the counters, it's still monstrous. I'm sorry, you can't put more counters on it, which is what they fixed with the new Simic mechanic.
Yes.
because there was a memory issue of remembering that this thing was made monstrous. But
Yeah.
so for 6 mana has monstrosity 2, so it becomes a 5/5, and as long as Chiller Pillar is monstrous, it has flying. So it's a big icy butterfly, and I love it. Yay.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, giant caterpillar from Visions or whatever. Like you could turn it into a 1/1 butterfly, which is like, oh, that's cool. And then you actually put it in a deck and play it, and you're like, wow, this sucks. But a 5/5 butterfly is much better than a 1/1 butterfly.
Didn't Giant Caterpillar start as like a 3/3?
Yeah, it started 3/3, just like Chiller Pillar did. It
Yeah.
also had Hill Giant stats.
And then turned into a 1/1 with flying?
Yeah, it's like, oh.
Man, creatures were bad back then. It's all right. I can't wait to see the Godzilla card or the King Ghidorah card that we get in this set. Because Mothra got one. It's only fair. This could totally be a tie-in with the new Godzilla movie, which I can't wait to see, just for the record. Looks freaking sweet.
That could be interesting, yeah.
Anyway, okay, moving on.
Yeah, Chad also reminded us about one more snow.
Yeah, there's a land, they said.
Yeah, it's the Frostwalk Bastion.
Oh, what's that? I haven't seen this.
The Frostwalk Bastion is an uncommon snow land. It can tap for colorless mana. It has an activated ability, 1 and a snow. Until end of turn, Frostwalk Bastion becomes a 2/3 construct artifact creature. It's still a land. And then another ability, whenever Frostwalk Bastion deals combat damage to a creature, tap that creature and it doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. Yeah, so it's a creature land that can freeze people up.
Yeah. Feels very, like, defense.
Mm-hmm.
So the picture on it is awesome, but what this reminds me of, what was the giant city transformer in the Transformer movie called?
I don't think I ever saw the Transformer movie. Like the cartoon?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
I've
the
heard,
Transformer movie. Like,
I've heard all about
movie?
it. But yeah.
There wasn't a transforming robot
yeah, there was. It was
city.
like their base transformed into,
Well,
like, didn't it transform into a giant robot or a giant defense? It was called something.
Well, I mean, it was Autobot City, and they transformed it to
Okay.
have guns and stuff.
Super Dimensional Fortress
But,
Macross.
yeah, I think you're thinking of
Metroplex.
Metroplex. Yeah.
And so what this reminds me of that, except that if this was a frost giant. Like if Metroplex was a frost giant, it would just transform and be like, and then they'd be like, frosted and stunned that this giant thing just woke up and just like slapped them really hard.
Accurate. Okay, then. Wait, did we lose Dirk? He stopped in mid-laugh.
No, I was
Good.
just, I
Oh, okay.
like, I was just thought it was so funny. In my head, it was funny. Sorry.
Like, instead of Metroplex, think about if your refrigerator transformed.
hmm
But anyway.
I covered you in
So-
frost, and you're just going, I just got slapped by my refrigerator.
So one of the other themes with the set is the presence of changelings, because as Mark Rosewater was saying, one thing a lot of people want is tribal support.
Yep.
So why not have tribal support that works for lots of different tribes? So, and we can get into this a little more, but I want to say just in general that I really like how they've done some of the changelings here. If you look at how they were done originally in Lorwyn, they're just kind of derpy. They've got the like look on their face, and Lorwyn in general, the sunny side of it is supposed to be a little less stressful than the average Magic setting. It's supposed to be a little more like less into the world, more oh no, Boggart's got into the pies and stuff.
No! Those pies
So-
were for dinner!
So I get that. I'm not making fun of it at all, but what we're talking about. Like the expressions are just like, blah, blah, blah,
Yes.
And here you have changelings that actually look like they're they're actually trying to fit in a little bit. Look at Imposter of the Sixth Pride. And of course, the callback here is to
Blade of the Sixth Pride.
The Blade of the Sixth Pride. But you can tell it's a changeling, but it's kind of a convincing imitation. You know, it's really it's doing a good job of blending in. You're just, if you look at it, just kind of like out of the corner of your eye, you're like, oh look, fellow Leonin, how are you today? And he's like, ha 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 ha. So, yeah, I think just in general they're really well done. But the first one that I saw was in Mark Rosewater's article, and it's Morophon.
Mm-hmm.
Dirk, what's Morophon? Since you said
For
Teach you to
7,
speak up.
do what?
Go ahead.
So for 7 colorless mana, it's a changeling. That's a 6/6. It's a legendary creature that's mythic, and it says shapeshifter is its creature type. As Morrigan, the Boundless enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Spells of the chosen type you cast cost Wooburg less to cast. This effect reduces only the amount of colored mana you play. Other creatures you control of the chosen type get +1/+1.
So I'm always reminded of God. What's the name of the land? The Cleric Land. That
Cleric
made things
Land?
cheaper.
No, the cleric creature. Edgewalker's a creature.
The cleric creature, Edgewalker, that said your clerics cost a black and a white less.
Yes.
And that's always the example that we used for like years of reducing colored mana cost. Like if you have the Edgewalker out and you play a cleric that costs 1 and a white, that means it only costs 1.
Well, with the way that Edgewalker works, does Edgewalker have this restriction that it only reduces the colored amount? I don't remember.
I think that's implied. I don't think that was necessary to write on here.
No, it's not part of the rules. They have to write it on here
Oh, okay.
if they want it to work that way.
Well, for God's sake, let's go look. Edge. Yes, this effect reduces only, Edgewalker says that. Smarty pants. So yeah, like I said, if you had Edgewalker out, it says your clerics cost black, white, less to cast, and you cast a cleric that costs 1 and a white, that means it only costs 1. If you cast a cleric that costs 1 black, that means it only costs 1 black. But if you cast a cleric that costs 1 a white and a black, that means it only costs 1 because it removes both, but it can only remove what's there to remove. Is all this making sense? I'm trying to be extremely clear.
Yes.
Because Morophon works exactly that way, but in a much broader sense.
Yeah.
So, like, if you have Morophon the Boundless, and you try to cast Baron Singer, let's say you picked Vampire, and you try to cast Baron Singer will only cost a single black mana less. So, you're not getting the full effect of the discount. But if you try to cast, I don't know, Sliver Queen with Morophon the Boundless, naming slivers, then your Sliver Queen is free! Or does she cost 1?
It's free.
She's
Does
free.
she just cost Wooburg? Okay.
Yeah.
So, I say again.
So there's a part of me that kind of appreciates this card from I think the colored mana thing is kind of cool, but I don't know. I was telling Mike at dinner yesterday, I'm not a big fan of Soul Ring. I don't like cards that are just almost like auto include. Oh, you want to do, you want mana, you Soul Ring, in every commander deck. Because why not, right? It's worth the slot. And this just feels like, hey, you want X tribe, no matter what it is, here you go. I'm not a fan of like ubiquitous cards.
Well, that's not how this works. Because
No,
it's got a 5 color identity.
Yeah, but nothing says you have to run all those colors.
Okay, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, but
you could run this
you
in a
wanna
zombie deck and be just fine.
Yeah, but that
Mono
means
black.
it has to be the commander. But there are so many better options
I
Yeah.
suppose.
If you're
for
just trying to
zombies,
run
especially. This is the guy for tribes that aren't well supported, tribes that don't have the much better option available.
I suppose I see where you're coming from. I think I've come down on this card a little hard, and now I appreciate it a little more. But I'm still just like, I guess it's all right.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
mean,
like,
it's not a great
"Whoa!"
card by any stretch of the imagination. Even the Manipool Discord server, which is generally, oh, cool. We're like, this card kind of sucks.
Yeah.
And it's not that it's bad, it's that it's just kind of plain and boring.
Mm-hmm.
Which is fine, because like Mike said, this isn't meant to go in your sliver deck. It isn't meant to go in your zombie deck. It's meant to go in your stupid, like, skeleton deck. Or
Or your advisor deck.
or your advisor. Yeah, something that's like a tribe that's not a tribe that's supported by anything enough. Well, now you've got a commander for it. Go to town.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Plus, he's so cute? Question mark? Just don't look directly in the face. That's all I'm gonna say.
Well, speaking of Wooburg, Mike told me he was so excited. He was so excited to see this next card. He was like, "Yes, finally, absolutely." No, I'm totally kidding. Mike, how
Okay, Mike,
excited
what
are
is
you?
it?
Sorry, my audio cut out.
I said, what? Don't you just love the concept behind the new legendary sliver?
Oh my God. Cascade is one of the most broken mechanics imaginable. All right, let's read this. The first sliver is a mythic legendary sliver. It's a 7/7 that costs Wooburg, and it has Cascade. So as a reminder, Cascade means when you cast this, you start exiling cards from the top of your library until you hit something with a lesser converted mana cost, and then you cast that spell. And then you put all the other exiled cards on the bottom in random order. But also, the first sliver says, sliver spells you cast have Cascade.
Now, my first reaction, no kidding, when I read this was, do they hate casual players? Which I swear is my reaction every time they print new slivers. I'm like, do they just hate people like us?
There are a contingent of people that are like in love with slivers. Just this is amazing. Don't ever print anything else ever again. Just keep doing this. And I love that they have gone back to the old art style. Even in the article that introduces, they're like, yeah, we're going back to the pre, M whatever edition it was. They didn't really talk about why they made that decision.
I can tell you why.
Oh, I can tell you why too.
Yeah.
Because it was a dumpster fire. Wait, what? Because people had an extremely, extraordinarily, amazingly, terribly negative reaction to it. Now, this still just affects just your slivers you control, but honestly, while I still kind of prefer the whole table plays Magic approach,
No.
I will be the first to admit, Mike, maybe the second to admit, that, probably for the best. Because it's a lot of things to keep track of.
Yeah, any tribal stuff that affects the whole board gives a lot of fiddly stuff to keep track of. And slivers were the worst offenders because of every single sliver card is tribal.
Oh, for anyone listening, that Windows sound you just heard, that was me. It wasn't you. Nothing just disconnected. Everybody calm down. Okay, keep going. Sorry. Or you could not. That works too.
I thought someone else was going to go, but yeah,
I didn't have anything
mechanical
else to say. So
The mechanical design of just affecting your creatures. That's a cleaner, much more modern design. The art design, they did go back to the more traditional Wrathy slivers rather than the Chandelarian sliver design that people really didn't care for. And that was neat to see.
Yeah.
I did notice that immediately when I saw the first couple silver cards.
Yeah, like the mechanical side of things is great.
Mhm.
I think when they switched over to it's just your slivers originally, like my first reaction was awe, and then I remembered all of the hell and misery of when two people, let's say Dirk and Corey, would both have a sliver deck, and we'd have to Jesus, like we had to make a rule: no one can play sliver decks at the same time.
Mhm.
And so I'm cool. I love that part. And I also love that they went back to the original art style though, because the weird predator slivers, like they had their reasons for trying it, but it didn't work.
Yeah, it was worth a shot, but now we know.
And knowing is
A lot.
it's some percentage of the battle.
Is 9/10 of the law?
Wait, no, hang on. No, that's exorcism is 9/10 of the law, right?
Lawyer says no.
The thing that kind of struck me about this set, at least so far, and again, you guys are more than welcome to say yay or nay to it, but that we have snow mana, that we have Urza, and we have the first sliver. That this very much strikes me as this is jumping into the past.
Yeah. Well, and it's supposed to be evoking that, I'm pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Dirk wasn't here when we talked about that at the beginning, I don't think. Or maybe he was. Dirk has gotten up and stepped away a couple times. Yeah, this is very much like a time spiral, future sight type block.
Yeah.
Or type set, damn it.
So
Block set, they're the same thing nowadays.
It's the same thing these days, yeah.
So Chewy, I want to know, what did you think when you first saw Lightning Skelemental?
I have actually not seen Lightning Skelemental.
Look
so
at
it's
in gold. It's in gold.
All right, Lightning
Right.
Skelemental. Okay, first the art is amazing.
The art is scary.
I don't know what's going on, but I love it. Okay, for a black red, it's a 6/1 elemental skeleton. I like the type line too. That is rare. It has trample and haste. All right. Whenever Lightning Skelemental deals combat damage to a player, that player discards 2 cards. At the beginning of the end step, sacrifice Lightning Skelemental. Hang on. Wait. There's a card. It's in black and red.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shut up. Damn it. Blightning.
Blightning.
Yes.
There you go. It's Blightning meets Ball Lightning.
It's
It's
a
a
Blightning
ball
elemental.
Ball Blightning.
Ball
It's
Blightning.
Ball Lightning.
Mall Cop? No, that was someone else. Huh. That's Huh.
I thought you'd like that.
That seems pretty good. It seems pretty good. Not like,
It is.
format breaking or anything, but it seems pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
6 damage with trample, that when it hit, if it even deals them 1 damage, if even one of it spills over, they discard 2 cards. That seems pretty good to me.
Plus, the art is freaking sick, dude. I love this. Dirk was right. It's terrifying, but I love it. I want to see this on the side of a panel van. Anyway, we should mention these other slivers though, because they're good.
Yeah, we should.
Right here in red white, we've got the lava belly, which says sliver creatures you control have, when this creature enters the battlefield, it deals 1 damage to target player or planeswalker, and you gain 1 life. And it's a 2/2 for 1, a white and a red. That seems just sick.
Yep.
Okay.
The flavor text is good too.
Warm enough to incubate eggs or incinerate those who would eat them. That is pretty good. They're monocolored, aren't they?
Yeah, I
The
like
rest of them now.
Yeah, I like the tempered sliver. This
Okay,
is
what's
really
that
cool.
do?
For 2 and a green, it's an uncommon. It is a 2/2, and sliver creatures you control have Slith ability. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, put a +1/+1 counter on it. I like that. I like that a lot. Encourages you to get in there. It's a little more interactive than just like they all get +1/+1 or whatever. So yeah, I'm a fan.
Yeah.
Flavor text.
Flavor text. The question isn't whether slivers will adapt to a world's perils, but whether the world's perils will adapt to slivers.
It's pretty good too. All right, what else we got in slivers?
Looks
Right
like-
now, the only other one I see is the black one, the Dregscape Sliver.
There it is.
Yeah, for a black and a 1 at the 2/2, and this is really neat. Each sliver creature card in your graveyard has Unearth 2, which
Ugh.
is really cheap. And there's no room for flavor text because they had to use all the space for reminder text for Unearth.
Yeah, Unearth.
So
is
as a
pretty-
reminder,
Ugh.
as a reminder, if you pay the Unearth cost, it's an activated ability. You can pay a cost and return the creature from your graveyard to the battlefield. It gets haste until end of turn, and then you exile it if it would leave the battlefield. Or at the beginning of the next end step.
And you can unearth only at sorcery speed. Everyone calm
Right.
down.
Right.
I'm calm.
Like,
You calm.
Unearth caused a lot of rules questions back in the day, but it's phrased this way specifically to keep most of the nonsense from working.
Right.
I mean, you can still do shenanigans by blinking with Unearth, but I think
Mhm.
that's the only thing that works.
Yeah, because the thing that makes it go to exile won't step in if it's going to exile anyway.
Right.
So it won't interfere with what you're doing.
But you can't bounce something you've unearthed to your hand. You can't
Mm-hmm.
sacrifice it. You're just none of that. Because it just
Well, you
goes
can't
to exile.
sacrifice it, but it won't go to the graveyard.
Well, okay, yeah. You can't sacrifice it for ghost to graveyard effects. So
Yeah.
for dies effects, because it won't. So yeah, that's important.
Mm-hmm.
What else is nutty? Did you guys see Deep Forest Hermit?
Yeah,
Yes.
I love how it's all mystical, and that one squirrel is just like, hey, this is kind of cool.
Hey Dirk, did you see Deep Forest Hermit?
I'm reading it now. You want me to read it out?
Yeah, tell us.
So for 3 and 2 green, so grand total of 5 mana, it's a 1/1 elf druid creature that's a rare. Has vanishing of 3. When Deep Forest Hermit enters the battlefield, create 4 1/1 green squirrel creature tokens. Squirrels you control get +1/+1.
Yeah.
What is the original? Is it Mad Hermit? or-
Deranged Hermit.
Deranged Hermit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not to be confused with Hermit Druid, which caused confusion on Monday Night Magic because I'm stupid.
Yeah, that's something else entirely.
I was like, no, Deranged Hermit is the thing that digs through your deck. And chat was like, no. Like, yeah, that's totally... It's Hermit Druid, you idiot. Right. I knew that. Shut
So
up.
many hermits, so little time.
Right?
Right.
But yeah, the original, the Deranged Hermit had, what, Echo?
Yeah.
Yeah, Echo. Mm-hmm.
And so all of its cost was up front. You had to pay for it twice, or you didn't get to keep pumping your squirrels. But
Right.
this one, instead of paying for it twice, it's just a limited time offer.
Mm-hmm.
And Vanishing, remember, is the fixed, quote-unquote, version of Fading, where it says, this creature enters the battlefield with 3 time counters on it. At the beginning of your upkeep, you remove a time counter. When you remove the last counter, you sacrifice it. Unlike Fading, which says you remove a counter, and if you can't, then you sacrifice it.
Yeah.
Which was vaguely counterintuitive.
It also caused small memory issues sometimes. You just forgot what you were supposed to be doing.
Exactly. So, yeah.
Yeah, there was another variant of this in Time Spiral Block, the Thelanite Druid. It had Morph, and it gave you the squirrels when you turned it face up.
Yeah, yeah. And while we're on squirrels, we should probably mention the Squirrel Nest has been reprinted.
Squirrel Nest. Oh, Pinball Witch says Thelanite Druid made saplings. Oops.
Ah, right.
Hey, should we go ahead and talk about the rest of the force cycle? Except for the red. We don't have the red.
If you want to. Is there anything else squirrely? I think that was it, right?
I think
Squirrel
so.
nest and the
Yeah. All right, the white force.
force of white.
the white one. There it is. Force of virtue. So all of these have, if it's not your turn, you can exile a card of the appropriate color rather than pay the spell's mana cost. Okay, this is the force cycle. They all do this. All right.
Right.
All right. So Force of Virtue for 2 white is an enchantment that has flash and gives your creatures +1/+1. But because of the not your turn and flash, you could pitch a card to throw it out for free mana wise as a combat trick
Yes.
on defense, which is pretty cool. Why doesn't this card make any sense design wise? It's a defensive combat trick. Or
Yeah,
it's a free defensive combat trick, or it's a 4-cost offensive combat trick.
yeah, this is great. And the fact that you can do it while you're tapped out is just awesome. Or if you're like, okay, I've got 4 mana, I didn't really need to pitch anything for it. There you go. I think this is awesome.
Yeah. Hey Dementor, do you have an official link to that by chance? Not Dementor. Who said that? Volrath
It was
Bane.
Volrath Bane.
Okay, feel free to drop a link to the chat, would you? Apparently, the red one might have just been revealed a few minutes ago.
Mm-hmm. And Cranberries pointed out something that I was thinking, or you could just end of your opponent's turn, run it out there by pitching a card just to save on mana.
Oh yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that is also true, as you can do with anything that has flash or instance at the end of turn.
Yeah.
I like it. We talked about the blue one. The black one is the force of the black one. There it is. Because these are in alphabetical order, so it should be easy to find. Idiot. Hey Brian, what's the black one?
The black one is really cool. I actually like this one. I'm glad they didn't just reprint like another like was it Slaughter Pact where it was just like kill a creature.
Yeah.
This is actually really interesting. Force of Despair for 1 and 2 black as an instant. If it's not your turn, you may exile a black card from your hand rather than pay this card's mana cost. Blah blah blah. Right? Destroy all creatures. You're like, huh? That entered the battlefield this turn. Ooh, that's really cool.
Like, that's spicy, right?
That is a spicy meatball.
As long as you don't ever say that again, then yes.
Yeah. Okay, sorry. That was terrible. This is really nice.
And yeah, this is, as was pointed out in chat, this is really neat versus things like Kiki Jiki combos.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually thinking of the Cryptic Gateway you had mentioned earlier. Throw out like 15 beasts, and it's like, oh man, I'm rocking. Then throw this out and be like, just 15. All your creatures just go straight to the graveyard.
But only yours, nerd.
Yeah, only mine.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's pretty cool. Plus, it has sweet Seb McKinnon weird art, which is always
the
fun.
The art is kind of scary, creepy.
Yeah, that's what I said. Sweet Seb McKinnon art. Because when Seb McKinnon does creepy, he does it right. Do we have a picture of the red one yet? Has that hit the internet, you guys? Can someone get me a link so we can show it? And then we'll do the green one, which is Force of the Green one.
Force of the green one.
I don't know any of these names. What's the green one do, Dirk?
Force of Vigor.
Yeah, there
for
we go.
2 and 2 green. It's an instant. That's rare. If it's not your turn, you may exile a green card, blah blah, pay its mana cost. Destroy up to 2 target artifact and or enchantments. And as flavor text says, the vines overgrew the construct, snapping gears and soaking up ether.
I
This
still
feels like-
can't tell what's going on in this art, and I even stared at like the full art, like the full art was posted, and I'm just like,
This feels like a really interesting take on what's it called? Slice and Twain.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah,
Yeah, that was naturalize something, draw a card.
yeah. Naturalize 2 things, I think. Or-
No.
No, I think you're right.
Yeah, you're thinking of. Oh crap! I know the card you're thinking of too, but I can't think of the name.
Was it the time spiral callback to Dust?
That might be it. Okay.
Return to Dust.
Return to yeah. Okay. Sorry about that.
Return to Dust was the split second one, right?
No, that was the one where you got a bonus if you played it during your main phase. on your turn.
Ah, okay, there we go. We'll figure this out eventually without going to Gatherer, maybe.
Crowson Grip was a split second one.
Yeah.
But it only killed one.
Right.
It only hit
It
one
only killed
thing.
one. I was thinking of the one that hit more than one. So
Stark says it's called Force of Vigor because Force of Nature is already a card. That's
Yup.
actually a very good point.
Very much so. Oh, we'll call it Force of Nature. Why does that sound familiar? Flashback to the designer when he was a kid and his big brother like turned it sideways and hit him in the head. Oh man. But anyway, so that's cool. Chat has failed me. There we go. So say, just give me the image on Reddit. It'll be fine. I know this is from Wedge, so it's cool. Here is Force of Rage, the red one.
Rage.
For 1 red is a rare instant. It's got the pitch clause, and it creates 2 3/1 red elemental creature tokens with trample and haste, and you sacrifice them at the beginning of your next upkeep.
your next upkeep. Interesting. So they stick around for a hot minute.
Sort of.
Kind of.
I
Maybe.
mean, if you pitch it to get them during your opponent's turn, then they're probably blocking, and if not, they're gonna die.
They're
Anyway.
they're
Is it to
blockers.
keep it from doing that thing where if
Oh,
you cast it during the end step, it actually lasts till the next one?
You're right. Yes, that's exactly what it's.
Yeah,
It's done to avoid the old waylay loophole, right?
that's the one.
Yes, the waylay. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So that means also if you cast it during your turn, then you still have them on your next turn to do something with during your upkeep, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So that's neat. I like the way that all of these are good but not like busted.
Yeah. They follow fairly in line with the color pie.
Yeah, but none of them
Like-
do anything big and ridiculous. Like one's an anthem, one is a double naturalize, one is 2 spark elementals,
Yeah.
one is a very limited board wipe.
Yeah.
What's
I think
what I'm
that,
missing?
that.
Oh, and the
yeah.
one is a super conditional counterspell.
Yeah. I think the black one probably has the most potential, just because it can be so one-sided. You know.
What I didn't say if you're not swinging with them on your turn. I said if you cast it on your turn, they're still there for like to sacrifice to something or whatever on your next turn, because they don't go away until your next upkeep, not the next upkeep.
Yeah.
So if you play them on your turn and swing through for 6 points of damage, or hit a planeswalker or whatever, they don't get blocked and killed. They're still there for whatever reason you might care about.
Yes. Reasons.
Spiz says he likes that the black one can save you from 3 hollow ones on turn 1. That's important in Modern. Good point. I like it. Huh. Sorry, that sounds awful. Sorry, that's the Force cycle. What else have we got? How about some of these sweet reprints, like dismantling blow.
Dismantling blue and white. Pretty cool.
Dismantling blue and white, yeah.
I love dismantling blow. That's awesome.
Yeah.
If you love it so much, what's it do? Why don't you marry it? You know, that sort of thing.
For 2 and a white, it's an uncommon instant. It has a kicker of 2 and a blue. And you destroy target artifact or enchantment. If the spell was kicked, draw 2 cards.
One of those old school whatever cards that
Yeah.
probably isn't that good these days, but Mike still has nostalgia for it.
I still play it.
See?
It's good. It's good stuff. Draw 2 cards might be one of the very few things that's even better than draw a card.
Good job, Mike.
I know Wing Shards is a reprint.
Yeah, Wing Shards is from
Like
Onslaught.
long ago.
Yeah, everybody loves wing shards.
One of the original defensive storm cards. Target player sacrifices an attacking creature with storm for 1 white. Even has the good old art. I love it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's the original art.
We've got Choking Tethers, which taps 4 creatures, or you can cycle it to tap a creature. There's Fact or Fiction, that's a big one.
Yeah, I was like, when I saw that. I'm like, ooh.
Did you say Man of War?
I hope they know what they're doing.
Well, not yet. I'm working my way down.
Okay.
So
Just wanted to make sure.
So yeah, Man of War, the original bounce dude.
Can I just say that between Fact or Fiction and Force of Negation, the artists are trying very hard to make Jace look really cool.
Is that Jason, Force of Negation?
Yeah.
I mean, probably.
Looks a whole lot like him.
The Fact or Fiction art isn't strictly new. That was something they introduced in the Jace vs. Chandra duel deck back in
I
the
was
day.
gonna say, yeah, that's old art. You'll also notice.
No, I understand. I just seeing them back to back like that. It's like, ooh, look at Jace.
You'll also notice in this art that he's keeping 2 things and throwing away 3 things.
Well, yeah, those are always the 2 that you want.
Like you do in Fact or Fiction.
Yeah.
But I mean, I just love that in the art, it's got the proper number of things being dealt with. That's just a nice little touch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Force of Negation is Jace either. I think it...
You don't think so?
Nah.
Okay. I thought that was him.
It might be the Pondering Mage. Who knows?
It might be the Pondering Mage who's casting Ponder.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. Crypt Rats, which...
Yeah, did you hit Prohibit as another reprint?
Oh, is Prohibit a reprint?
Yes,
Yeah,
it is.
and
there
you've
it is.
actually got original art on here, too.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
from Invasion, the original Invasion block.
Counter target spell if its
guess
converted
there's only
mana
one
cost
invasion
is
block.
2 or less for 1 in a blue, or it has a kicker of 2, and if it was kicked, then counter target spell if that converted mana cost is 4 or less. Well, that's nice. I'd forgotten about this card. Don't look too carefully at the art on Stream of Thought, or your head might explode. Seriously, what in the blue hell?
It's pretty clever.
I like it. Just don't stare at it too long, but I like it.
I don't even care about the card. Mike does. Mike, what's the card do?
So, for one, it's a blue common sorcery. It costs 1 blue, as in a single blue mana. Target player puts the top 4 cards of their library into their graveyard. You shuffle up to 4 cards from your graveyard into your library, and then it has a replicate cost of 2 blue. which is interesting to say the least.
Yeah.
So for 5 mana, you're basically it's almost like a draining effect for milling, since you're making someone dump 4 and you get 4 back. So for 1 blue, you do 4. For 5 mana, you can do 8. For 9, you're doing 12. I mean, you're getting up there in terms of mana.
Mm-hmm.
Also, it's target player, so you can just mill yourself for 4 and then put back the things that you don't want in your graveyard if you so choose.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Which means it's very important to, if you're replicating it, to do it in order.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which is actually a mechanical pain in the ass to mill 4, grab some cards from your graveyard, shuffle them back in, then mill 4.
Yeah, because you can't shortcut it because the shuffle makes this it. Yeah, you have to shuffle so that you'll be milling the right things.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a hassle.
But anyway, so maybe don't do that unless you just really want to shuffle stuff. But yeah, the Seb McKinnon art on here is trippy. Not scary, trippy. I don't know. I'm scared. Apparently Ben Stark was supposed to preview Crypt Rats, but I don't know if he ever did. If he did, he didn't put it on Twitter anywhere. So maybe he just showed it to his stream and everyone didn't go immediately to the internet. But like, if you look at where to find the Modern Horizons previews, Ben Stark is still listed as not live. So I don't know if he forgot
He did.
or what, but Crypt Rats just appeared in the chat, or in the card image gallery the next day. So this is the not Plague Rats, the Pestilence Rats, except Pestilence Rats is, I think, a card. But it's the rats that do a one-shot Pestilence.
Yes.
Diabolic Edict is here.
Yep.
Firebolt.
Yeah.
Firebolt in Modern is interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about this. So it's
I know how I
a
feel
sorcery
about it.
speed shock. 2 damage to any target for a single red at sorcery speed. But it has flashback of 4 and a red. And way back in the day, this was really something.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering if this will show up in modern burn decks just for that extra reach. But I don't even know if modern burn decks need extra reach these days.
No, one of the big things with Firebolt was the advantage it could generate by giving you 2-for-1s.
Yeah.
Which is something that burn decks usually do not have at their disposal. Advantage of any kind.
Yeah, not at all. Hey, Volrath Bane just said, I remember trying to make a Pestilence Cemetery Gate deck. Yeah, you do.
Yes.
I still have a black-white Pestilence deck that started back in the day with Cemetery Gates in it. But anyway, Goblin Matron is another big one.
That is big.
I thought Clues was going to die when Goblin Matron showed up.
So, when I first looked at the art for Goblin Matron, I thought it was like a weird-looking Santa. Until I got a much closer look at it and was like, oh, no, never mind. That's not a Santa. Not a weird-looking Santa. That is just a scary-looking goblin.
Oh, is that all?
Buh. Let's see. Lava Dart
Lava Dart.
is another big one that's reprinted now. 1 damage to any target for a single red instant speed. Flashback, sacrifice a mountain. That might be less, or it might be more flashy than I want to think about right now in Modern.
Yep. Instant speed damage for no mana is, can matter.
Can matter.
Yeah.
Nimble
in a-
mongoose.
Especially in a world of Phoenix's Arclight.
Yeah.
Is that the one? I always forget which Phoenix is which.
Yeah, Arclight Phoenix.
Yeah.
Nimble Mongoose is a reprint.
Nimble Mongoose in Modern.
Yeah.
Like, this thing is still a Legacy card that is played in Legacy straight up.
Well,
So-
yeah. I mean, you look at the flavor text. You know, one thread connected all the travelers' stories. The ferocity of the mongoose. And maybe if you haven't really played in Eternal, you may go, I don't get it. Because, But no, this thing's the real deal.
Yeah. A 3/3 that can't be targeted for a single mana. Yeah, seems good.
Mm-hmm.
This was one of the. Wasn't this one like the older cards that had Shroud? Like,
Yeah,
was this one of the first ones?
This was before they keyworded it, I'm pretty sure. So
Yeah, it was before they keyworded it. It was rare for cards to have that ability, but yeah, this was from Odyssey block.
Yeah, this is from Odyssey.
There's a bunch of stuff that's reprints in green.
Yeah. Elvish Fury.
Mike, you roboted. Say that again. Mike?
did we lose Mike?
He's lighting up, but we can't hear him.
Mike, can you hear us? 'Cause
Which
if you
doesn't
can
make
hear
any
us-
sense at all. But yeah, Elvish Fury, as he was saying, which is a sort of giant growth with buyback.
Regrowth's a reprint.
Yeah, Regrowth is a reprint. Spore Frog is a reprint.
Savage Swipe's a reprint.
No, it's not.
It's not?
Nope.
It is not.
Wasn't it that the one where it was like the bear and there was the guy? God, what's
You're
this?
thinking of from Cons of Tarkir.
Punch.
Oh,
Yeah.
there- Mike's back.
Yeah, you're right. I was
Wait,
thinking
was
Savage
that Dirk
Punch.
I heard?
That
No,
was,
that was Mike.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, Savage Swipe is a new card. Hey, let's talk about this, because this is silly.
Well, for a green, it's a common sorcery. Target creature you control gets +2/+2 until end of turn if its power is 2. Then it fights target creature you don't control.
So, if it's a bear, not technically, but if it's a bear, then it becomes bigger. And if it's not a bear, then it still fights something. I really like the design on this card.
Mm-hmm.
So, Savage Punch had a dude punching a bear. This is the bear getting to punch the dude back.
Basically.
Revenge of the Bears.
9 generations of metalworking skill are no match for 900 pounds of rage.
It's pretty cool.
I
Is
like it.
Scale Up a reprint?
No,
No.
it is not. Because Overload was an is it mechanic. So it only showed up on blue and red cards.
Okay. Well, I was looking at this like, I thought Scale Overload was an old mechanic, but
Mm-hmm.
that's what made me wonder this.
Well, tell us about it then, Dirk.
Well, for 1 green mana, it's a uncommon sorcery. Until end of turn, target creature you control becomes a green worm with base power and toughness 6/4, and it has overload of 4 and 2 green.
So yeah, and it was already said in chat, but this is a thing for modern Infect decks, straight up.
Yeah.
Because what's better than taking your little 1/1 Infect dude and giving it like +6/6? Making it start at 6 and then giving it +6/6. Luckily, it's a sorcery, but still. makes me sad, actually. I think that's it for reprints thus far. Oh, we didn't talk about the lands.
Mm-hmm.
You guys remember? Oh crap! Horizon Canopy.
Horizon
Horizon
Canopy.
Canopy.
Yep. Yes,
Well,
I do.
Now we get a full cycle of Horizon Canopy, but oddly enough, Horizon Canopy's not in it because they're enemy-colored cycle. So all of these are enemy-colored pairs that tap and pay 1 life to add 1 of either color, or pay 1, tap and sacrifice it to draw a card. And the art on all of these is absolutely beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And they got actually 5 different artists, so that's cool. This art on Fiery Islet, though, by Richard Wright.
That one is amazing.
Isn't that sick?
Because it just looks like you're at the Hawaiian Islands, and this is you're watching the magma, like the lava, like go into the ocean. Like that is I really would love to find that as a background.
It is great. I think my favorite is probably either Silent Clearing or Waterlogged Grove, though. Maybe Silent Clearing.
Let's just open all these up and look at them real quick. So there's the Silent Clearing. Oh wow, that's a plain swamp that looks like a battlefield, or like a...
The expedition's end began the Marsh's story.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So
So
look, they're lotus trees.
this used to be a plains or a forest or something, and then people got wiped out here, and the blood seeped into the ground, and lovely stuff. Yeah.
Of course, Seb McKinnon art. Waterlogged Grove is by John Avon, so of course it's just gorgeous.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That one is another just beautiful piece of art.
Yup.
Like that's a place that if that was what you saw outside your window, I would just stare at that for hours.
Yeah.
Sunbaked Canyon is the red one.
It's good, but it doesn't, for me, it doesn't evoke the same stuff as the others.
Yeah. It's a dried up riverbed, which is neat. And then Nurturing Peatland is one of the most colorful swamps I've ever seen. Oh, it's Noah Bradley. All right. That's pretty. Oh, that's Nimble Mongoose. By the way, chat showed us... Was it this? Yeah, we got new cards. Goat Nap is a reprint.
Yay, Goat Nap.
What?
Wait, no, we had
What
Goat
is it?
Napper.
Oh, we had Goat Napper. That's not a reprint. So Goat Nap for 2 and a red is a common sorcery. Gain control of target creature until end of turn. Untap that creature. It gains haste until end of turn. If that creature is a goat, it also gets +3/+0 until end of turn.
Greatest of all time.
And the staring horns ain't staring is the flavor text. Pinball Witch threw 10 bits and said,
That's
steal
so
the Goat of Doom. I'm not even going to touch that one. You mean Shog?
That would be the one.
And then we get another sliver. Buh. The Cloud Shredder Sliver. For a white and a red is a 1/1 rare sliver. Sliver creatures you control have flying and haste.
That's interesting. We already have a white and red sliver, the Lava Belly.
That's what I was thinking too.
Well, stop it then, because I already thought of that. So,
I think they said slivers are the going theme for red-white.
Okay.
I thought you said we're of the devil.
That too, yeah.
That's what I thought you were going to say.
Yeah, flying and haste is a
It's a hell of a combo.
I gotta ask. Okay, good. It's not a crotch shot of the Cloud Shredder Sliver.
No. It's the good art version. We'll get to see its crotch in the reprint. Sky Knight Legionnaire joke. For anyone that missed it. Is that the name of the card? Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Because
yeah.
chat already...
I want to point out something interesting in this tweet. You remember the stuff that You remember the hashtag free preview stuff?
Yeah.
Like we were supposed to use and other people. Notice that his has a hashtag ad.
It's probably the same purpose.
I thought that was just interesting to see that there is that distinction between
Although
that there
this
are
guy's
some
actually
paid.
holding physical cards instead of
An image.
yeah, instead
also
of just
that.
having an image.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. That's interesting. I didn't even think of that until you pointed it out. All right then, so that's cool. Thank you for that link, chat. All right. Is there anything else crazy? Oh my God, munitions expert. Mike, did you see a munitions expert?
Yes, I did. It's really strong. For a black and a red, it's an uncommon 1/1 goblin with flash. And when it enters the battlefield, you may have it deal damage to target creature or planeswalker equal to the number of goblins you control. Like Gem Palm Incinerator was a real thing in Standard back in the day.
In fact, Clues was kind of sad that we didn't get it for Modern Goblins, because Clues really just wants to have Legacy Goblins in Modern because Clues is a monster.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, Gem Palm is still a real thing now. But here, you know, you have to go into black, but you even get something that sticks to the board.
But it can be countered, and you don't draw a card, which means Gem Palm Incinerator is just too damn good. So yeah, also, if you look carefully in the background, there is a flying shark. Just under the blade of his sword. That's a flying shark. Or it's a shark that's been fired out of a cannon. Either way, that's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
I was honestly really confused when I saw this art at first because I didn't realize that was his nose.
You thought he just had a really weird shaped face and neck?
I guess because, again, the image was smaller on my computer, I had to do a double take, and I'm like, what is he wearing?
Demented Santa Claus. See, I like that there's the sharks and everything, because the flavor text says, when dealing with goblins, if it isn't nailed down, it's headed your way.
Yeah,
And
like
you
there's
know what's not nailed down? Sharks.
There's like there's a chicken, there's a shark, there's another goblin, there's a cannon that was fired out of a cannon. Yeah,
like it looks
I
like,
can't
so there's
tell.
No, the cannon was fired from a trebuchet.
You don't know. You weren't there.
and it right above his sword arm and everything? Does it look like it's either logs or sticks of dynamite?
I think that's sticks of dynamite bundled together. I can't tell if the shark itself has harpoon strapped to it, or if they're just flying along there.
Or if
Yeah,
there's someone riding the shark.
Yeah, I don't know. It might have frickin' harpoon guns strapped to its head. It might.
Instead of frickin' lasers.
Oh my god.
Now I'm harpooning you! See how you like it.
Let's see here. How about Collected Conjuring? This seems like a Brian card.
Collected Conjuring. What color is that in?
Gold.
Multicolored.
Oh, yeah, this is definitely a Brian card. For 2 a blue and a red, it's a sorcery. It's rare. Exile the top 6 cards of your library. You may cast up to 2 sorcery cards with a converted mana cost 3 or less from among them without paying their mana cost. Put the exiled cards not cast this way on the bottom of your library in a random order. I gotta feel like, when are you not hitting with this? You know? I just feel like that's not going to happen a whole lot.
It's well, it is just sorceries. It's not instant or sorcery, so that's the thing to watch out for.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is neat. It's It's the spell version of Collected Company.
Mhm.
Which is pretty cool. I like that it balances itself by saying with converted mana cost 3 or less, because sorceries that cost 3 or less are usually not as abusable as some of the creatures that cost 3 or less.
And it keeps you from hitting another collected construct.
Yeah.
That's important.
So that's a cool spell. What about, you guys remember Young Pyromancer?
Yes.
Yes.
Remember when he was, he was young and dumb and was just a big fan of Chandra? Well, it turns out he grew up and got hot.
Hot as in like on fire, or
Well,
like
he was always
attractive?
that, but now he's like hot and sexy as opposed to just hot.
Like temperature-wise, yeah.
Yeah. Seasoned Pyromancer. Mike, this seems like a Mike thing.
It is a Mike thing.
This is an everybody thing.
For 1 red. It's a mythic.
Oh no, don't disappear in the middle of your talking. Yeah, he's gone.
Oh.
We still see him lighting up though, which is tripping me out. Because if he's lighting up, that should mean that Discord's picking him up. But it's not making its way to us, which is freaking bizarre. Now he's just staying lit up, which means I think it's a long string of swearing, or that means Discord is fixing itself.
Or both.
Or you think he's doing the Yosemite Sam thing and just card sard razafrazin freaking. I really wanted Mike to read this.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait.
Oh,
There he is.
There he is.
Freaking. Huh? Oh, look
You're
at
right.
See, usually if I click the mute button, I just wait for the mute icon to actually show up, and that lets me know it's fixed. But it wasn't, so slipping it on and off again, and I don't know. I guess it fixed itself without telling me.
Dementor wants to know if Mike has phasing.
Good
Yes,
job.
because Mike is just old enough to have that. I mean, what? So, hey, Mike, you wanna tell us about this Easy Peasy? as
Anyway,
Blues likes to
yep,
call him?
Seasoned Pyromancer. 2/2 for 3. Gray Ogre. Awesome. When Seasoned Pyromancer enters the battlefield, discard 2 cards, then draw 2 cards. For each non-land card discarded this way, you get a 1/1 red elemental token. And you can pay 3 red and exile Seasoned Pyromancer from your graveyard to get 2 1/1 elemental tokens. Now the nifty thing is that you don't have to have 2 cards in your hand to discard in order to be able to draw 2 cards.
Correct. And why is that, Mike?
Because you just follow the instructions in order. Discarding the cards isn't part of a cost, and it doesn't say if you do, then draw 2 cards. It's just discard 2 cards and draw 2 cards. If you can't discard 2 cards, well, you just do whatever you can and then keep going.
Yup. So, a 2/2 for 1 red that says draw 2 cards. I'm down for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But otherwise, you rummage twice and get 2 elementals, which is also really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
And for 3 mana, this feels pretty darn good.
Oh, yeah. Plus, look at him. Double up. Oh, man, did you guys see the Planeswalker sneak attack?
Yes.
For 2 and a red, the Planebound Accomplice is a 1/3 human wizard that is rare. For a single red, you may put a Planeswalker card from your hand onto the battlefield, sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. So it's a non-Planeswalker who can summon a planeswalker to show up real quick and do a thing. So it's sneak attack for planeswalkers on a 1/3.
Right.
Plus the art is really cool because there's a giant tree folk looking planeswalker showing up behind him. And we haven't seen a tree folk planeswalker yet. And that makes me happy. Tom Ross, according to chat, Tom Ross said he's revealing that planeswalker in the background tomorrow.
Oh, neat.
Oh. So by the time you're listening to this, if you're listening to this, in audio form, or watching this on YouTube, then that means, hey, that's already out, you already know about it, but you already know about all these cards, so whatever. Did he say it was that one in particular? I saw a tweet, but I didn't register the full thing.
Oh, wait, is that a tree folk planeswalker? No, I see another floating humanoid back there.
Well, it looks
Floating humanoid back there?
It's almost like a. I don't want to. It looks like a tree folk, but there's a person inside, so it's almost like a tree folk mech thing.
Oh, I see. Here's the head, and this is like shoulders and an arm, and here's the other. Oh. So it might be that person in a tree folk mech, for lack of a better term.
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay, here's a link to his tweet. What did he say? Tomorrow I'm previewing a new Mythic Planeswalker for Modern Horizons, blah, 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 blah. That's all it said. Oh, yeah, and there's the art, which is indeed just that. It's a person inside of a weird tree folk thing. What in the actual hell? Are you guys seeing that? The link that they just
I'm seeing it.
dropped in the chat?
I'm seeing it.
Brian will probably catch the reference. It reminds me of Ansem from the first Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, yeah.
It looks like the last boss a little bit,
Yeah.
Submit!
That's...
Return to darkness!
Tentec said it's a power loader from Aliens, but a tree. Ah. Get away from her, you bitch. It's a green Tezzeret. That's what it is. Fan says got there. Tezzeret has replaced most of himself with metal. This person has replaced most of itself with tree.
All right, now I'm just picturing Obi-Wan, There's no good left in him. He's more tree than
He's
man.
more tree than man. What the hell? That's creepy. Okay, I can't wait to see that. Okay, let's get to the stuff from today. Right? Is there anything else that we just desperately need to talk about?
I don't know. I don't know what I've seen from today.
Well, specifically the bear.
Oh, yeah, I did see that. We should probably mention that.
It is bear o'clock. I don't know where to find that, though. Is this gonna... No, this was the lands.
Pulling it up. Where? Oh, shoot. History.
I don't know where that was. Wait, what's today?
I'm getting it.
Today's the 23rd, idiot. There we go. So is it this one?
And 3, 2, copy, and...
No, that's not it. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Here you go. Computer launching, so it's going to take a second. There.
Oh, is it on this? I had this link open already, and I just didn't scroll down far enough.
Keep going. There's some other interesting little things here, too.
Yeah, okay, well, let's just start at the top and scroll down.
Start at the top? Okay, I like starting at the top.
First up, as far as crazy new cards go, is Umezawa's Charm. And y'all, when I saw this, first I went, because that's the appropriate reaction. And then I went, oh, he's cute. Like,
Umezawa's Charm. Oh, I see what they did there.
yeah. So Umezawa's Charm, for 1 and a black, is a common instant that says choose one. And it's the 3 things that you can do on Umezawa's Jite. So target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Target creature gets -1/-1 until end of turn. Or you gain 2 life. which is what the Fork of Doom does.
Right.
Mhm.
You just can't do it more than once in this instance because you're not building up counters.
Yeah. So that's a really cool card. I don't know how terribly useful it is. It doesn't matter though. It's freaking cool.
Yeah.
Okay, then we already saw Sarah with her worship and Sarah Angel and Sarah Aviary. Yep. Oh my god, the Splicer. Did you guys see this yet?
I did
Oh,
see the
yeah.
Splicer. Yeah, but
They finally did it.
I've been waiting for Splice onto sorcery, instant creature, whatever, for forever. Literally before Kamigawa came out, I was like, if they're gonna make this, it's gonna be terrible, and they need to make it more general, but actually works with cards outside of this block. And they went ahead and did it, and I was, right. So Splicer's skill for 2 and a white is an uncommon sorcery. Create a 3/3 colorless Golem artifact creature token. Makes sense. Not bad for 3 mana. And it has Splice onto instant or sorcery for 3 and a white. Mike, because I'm going to mess this up, what does that mean?
It means that while you're casting an instant or sorcery, you can decide to splice this onto it, and that means you add the splice cost to the total mana cost, and you also add the text onto the card's text. But you have to reveal the splice card from your hand when you do it, and the card you're splicing onto it stays in your hand. I can't remember if it's a copy effect or a text changing effect. That only really matters in corner cases, the distinction. But anyway, yes. For an extra cost, you can tack this card's text onto some other instant or sorcery you play, and this card stays in your hand while you do it.
Yeah, so if you're splicing like Lightning Bolt, then you will pay a red and 3 and a white. You'll reveal Splicer's skill as you cast the Lightning Bolt. And Lightning Bolt says, deal 3 damage to any target, create a 3/3 colorless Golem artifact creature token. And so if that gets countered, it all gets countered. That's important. But regardless of whether it gets countered or not, the Splicer's skill is still in your hand. So yeah, those of us that played back during Kamigawa remember some of the wonderful / horrible things that were done with Splice.
Yes.
I remember the first time I spliced a Glacial Ray onto something at the pre-release, and then still had the Glacial Ray in hand to splice onto something else. I was like, holy crap, this is good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like, we were aware of it intellectually at the time, because we had seen Glacial Ray and knew what Splice was. Because this wasn't so far back that all the cards were new at the pre-release. It's not that old.
Mike built an infinite combo deck with, was it Hanakami?
Yeah, it's not an infinite combo that goes off in one turn. It's more like infinite value.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can grind out the game forever.
But yeah, the fact that I still had this Glacial Ray in my hand to use the next turn is when it dawned on me, this is gonna be nuts. And in Limited, Splice was pretty nuts. So
Yeah.
yeah.
You can even build a ridiculous mill deck off the back of some splice cards.
Yeah.
Who did that?
I
Who of us
tried it.
did that?
That sounds like something I would do.
Oh no, that was a Limited staple, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Like the Splice
Damn it,
mill
Paul.
card was actually a deck you could draft.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
That's right.
remember that now. Buh. But anyway, so yeah, that's pretty cool. You guys remember Beast Within? That card
Yep.
from
Yes.
crap. Is that
Scars
New
Merchant?
Phyrexia?
It was in that block, yeah.
New Phyrexia.
It is New Phyrexia, yeah. Well, they took it and made it white. And instead of making a beast, it makes an elephant, but it's still a 3/3. Destroy target permanent. Its controller gets a 3/3 green elephant. For 2 and a white, instant speed.
Yeah. Sorry, I burned down your permanent. Here's an elephant.
Pretty much, yeah.
That makes more sense in white. I think with Beast Within, they were just trying to justify: is it possible to make a green card that you can just kill something with? And they probably shouldn't have even tried, because that's just not in green's color pie.
Yeah, if it said destroy target non-creature permanent, give them a 3/3, then no one would have blinked.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Horizon Canopy, here's the lands. Changeling Outcast. A 1/1 with Changeling that can't block and can't be blocked.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's cool. Where? Blah, 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 blah. Bears. Here it is.
There it is.
So yeah, today's big reveal that had everyone either happy or sad or angry or stupid or giggling or all of the above in one notable case. That was Steve. Not the one on the bus. Different Steve. We have Ayula, Queen Among Bears. Hey, Dirk, you're the green guy.
All right. Find it. It's at the bottom?
It's at the bottom of the article, almost.
All right. Ayula, Queen Among Bears. For 1 and a green, it's a 2/2 legendary creature bear. It's
Boom!
rare.
Nailed it. A 2/2 for 2 bear.
So, when another bear enters the battlefield under your control, choose 1. Put 2 +1/+1 counters on target bear. Target bear you control fights target creature you don't control. And then the flavor text says, born from the oldest red cedar, nursed on the sap of the tallest spruce, coronated under the mightiest pine.
And she is majestic.
That is the word I was going to use.
It's the only word that applies.
Majestic bear.
So yeah, she
Can we
is.
say that this bear is amazing?
Look at this bear. This bear is majestic. But yeah, this is the legendary bear that is the bear tribal commander that people have been wanting for literal years, and I think they nailed it. Because she makes bears bigger, or she makes bears punch people.
Yeah.
Not people, other creatures.
Well, those creatures might be people. You don't know.
I mean, that's true, yeah. She could punch, like a... I'm suddenly blanking on any name of any creature that is a human. Thalia. There we go. Thalia's a human. She could get a bear to punch Thalia. But yeah, this was the big reveal today that made everyone snicker. She's pretty.
Mm-hmm.
It was just pointed out that Changeling Outcast is there as an enabler for the blue-black ninjas theme that is the thing in blue-black in this set. We haven't seen any yet, but they told us that at some point.
Yeah.
Some point today.
Thinking here is like, what's that saying? If your theme isn't in the card image gallery, then it's not your theme. How does that go?
Yeah, that's how it goes, yeah. But we haven't seen any of the ninjas yet, but we will tomorrow, apparently. At least I think I saw someone tweet that's tomorrow. That might not be tomorrow. I don't know. But anyway. Did we see... No, not here. Okay. So there are a lot of stuff that was revealed today, obviously, because that's what happens. Like, ooh, what did Autumn get? Autumn got... This is a link to her freaking stream.
Sir, the bizarre trade mage.
Shut up! Oh, she's... Sorry, they're live right now? No, this is... Are they live? Or did this actually take me right to their stream at the point it was revealed?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's cool. That link is supremely detailed. So Autumn got the bizarre trade mage. Can someone get me a link to this? This is terrible. But Bizarre Trade Mage for 2 and a blue is a 3/4 human wizard that's rare, that has flying, and when it enters the battlefield, draw 2 cards, then discard 3 cards. Sound familiar? Thank you, Stark. Boom, there is the art. It's Bazaar of Baghdad as an ETB effect on legs.
He looks like Aladdin.
Which, yeah, the flavor text, he traded a lamp for a scepter, the scepter for a ruby, and the ruby for a simple rug. I'm pretty sure that is a reference to Aladdin.
That simple rug appears to be flying, so good trade-up. The ruby probably
It's a serendip of freet with a different drawback. Oh, that's true.
Air quotes, drawback.
Look, to your average player who just dirtles around like I did when I was young, this is a horrible drawback.
Yeah, it is significant.
Although it is a 3/4 flyer for 3, which is just stupid. But yeah, as Volar Hasbane just pointed out, yeah. Could someone find me an image for the new Juzam, because that card's silly. Because it's silly. I don't remember who... Oh, was it... Yeah, it was Martin Juzam. Never mind, I got it. Oh, can I not... Open image in new tab. There we go. If you guys go to the where to find cards, it's the Martin Juza link, which makes perfect sense because, you know, Martin Juza. So hang on, let's open these in new tabs. Okay, so Juzam Jin, 2 black, 5/5, does 1 damage to you during your upkeep. We've said several times on this show that it's, by today's standards, it's subpar. Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, they printed this at what, uncommon recently, or was it just a rare? I can't remember. But or at least something similar to this.
I don't know. There have been variants of it as rare several times.
Okay,
and like
yeah.
each time one of those came around, people were like, "Oh my god, it's a new Juzam," and it was like, "This is," and it didn't really pan out to be an amazing thing.
Yeah, because remember, way back in Arabian Nights when this was printed, creatures were bad.
Terrible, the worst.
And a 5/5 for 4 in black with this minimal drawback was just insane. Well, now we've got a new version of it, the Ravenous Giant, which is the same thing. It 5/5, deals 1 damage to you during your upkeep. For 2 red, and it's uncommon. But the important thing is the fact that it's the same, it's a functional reprint, and the art is even a throwback. And that makes everything better. Right?
Right.
Yay. Stark said it also has a face like, hang on, let me see if I can pronounce this. Blur. I don't know if I pronounced that properly, but yay, new Juzam, I guess. Whatever. Is there anything else? Is there anything else really awesome that we didn't talk about today, you guys? No, that's for the entire stream. Don't want to see that. My accent was off. Sorry. Look, Stark said I got it, so the rest of you guys can bite me. Like, what was this? Oh, the Mother Bear! Oh my god. Did you guys see the Mother Bear?
No.
It's the MTG Tower preview.
That's a really good picture.
Yeah. Hey, Dirk.
Yep.
Not just because it's green, but because it involves parental stuff. Could you read Mother Bear?
For Mother Bear, 1 and a green, so total of 2. And it's a 2/2. No puns.
It's a bear.
Its creature type, bear.
Sick.
For 3 and 2 green, exile Mother Bear from your graveyard. Create 2/2/2 green bear creature tokens. Activate this ability only anytime you would cast a sorcery.
So isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Like, it's a little story in and of itself. The flavor text, even without her, the cubs will always know their mother's love.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really cool. If they manage to kill the mama bear, then sometime after that, because they have to grow up first, the 2 bears come and maul your opponent's face. See? You killed my mama. Mm-hmm. You ever been mauled by a bear, Dirk?
Can't say I have.
I can't recommend it.
I hear it doesn't end well.
I would feel like something was wrong if you could recommend it. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, yes, this was amazing. 10 out of 10.
And then
Would
Ray
be
Sato.
mauled again.
Yeah, we'll just use this link instead. Ray Sato had Ayula's Influence for green. This is a Mike card. Oh my god, Mike, are you seeing this?
No, I clicked the link Twitch. Just a second. Let me click that.
Well, click the one in Twitch. That's just the card.
No. I mean, I clicked the link that goes to his Twitch.
Oh, okay.
Look at that. Okay. I It's like I almost teared up a little bit seeing this earlier today when I was eating lunch.
Wait, seeing Ayula's Influence and not Mother Bear, you monster?
Yeah.
They killed her mama!
Ayula's Influence for green. It's a rare enchantment. Discard a land card. Create a 2/2 green bear creature token.
Is it beautiful, Mike?
It is.
Al just said in the chat, it's Bear Assault! Yeah, it is.
Yes, it is.
No, wait, no. It's, we need a better name. It's, Ursine Assault. Huh?
Ah.
But yeah, this is cool. I like it.
Yeah, so, you don't get the immediate effect of damage here, damage there that you do with Seismic Assault, but you get stuff that sticks to the board that could potentially deal damage over and over again. Which can be even more powerful in the long run.
Oh, yeah. It's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Chewy, can you spend like 10 seconds on this one? I don't know, can I? Yeah, we can. Oh my god, I love it. Hey Brian, did you see the link that Stark dropped in the chat?
I see it. Pyrophobia for 1 and a red. It's a sorcery. Pyrophobia deals 3 damage to target creature. Cowards can't block this turn. I hate this. I hate fire. I hate you for taking me on this route. Nor in the way.
So we've had 2 cards that work really well with or against changelings. Actually, both of them work against changelings. The goat nap says if you steal, because there aren't any goats in this set thus far. There might be, but I wouldn't count on it. The pyrophobia works the same way. So the goat nap says if it threaten a creature or active treason a creature these days, and if it's a goat, it gets a bonus. Well, that just really says if it has changeling, it gets a bonus. Yeah. And pyrophobia is the same thing. Is pyrophobia deals 3 damage to target creature. Cowards can't block this turn. Well, I doubt there are any cowards in the set, but there are changelings. But I love the flavor of everything. Norin is pissed because fire.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I kind of hope we get another version of Norin the Wary, but I wouldn't count on it. But another version of Norin would be really neat. Very nice, very nice. Oh, and what's the coward a throwback to?
Boldware
Boldware
Intimidator.
Intimidator, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who he said what? Warriors can't block cowards, and he had.
No, other way. Cowards can't block warrior.
Yeah, can't be blocked by is what my brain was saying. So cowards can't block warriors, and he had an ability that turned creatures into cowards.
Yeah, and an ability that turns creatures into warriors.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it first showed up in Future Sight with majestic art, and then showed up in Lorwyn Block with more Lorwyn-y art, and had hidden interaction with changelings in the sets.
Yeah.
And similarly, that's what, like Joey just finished explaining. That's what's going on here. I saw on the Discord where someone mentioned Morofon as the Coward Lord.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, chat started pointing out things that work well with changelings like Slivers and Ayula. Well, yeah, but I mean, those also work well with Slivers and Bears, whereas Pyrophobia doesn't really work with anything else in the set, and thus far there aren't any goats in the set, so I was thinking of changeling specific things.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, as Brian just typed in the chat without saying out loud, it's getting late, so we should stop here because that's a good place to stop.
I kind of thought that like 20 minutes ago, but we keep finding new things, and chat keeps giving us new things, and that's awesome. But is Dirk still awake?
Probably not.
Kind of. My mind is starting to freeze up.
I'm barely awake. I'm moved to like laying on the couch rather than sitting up.
Good lord.
Anything we don't cover today, we cover next week anyway. So
it's very true.
Or you guys will. So because I won't be here, and that's been on the schedule for like as long as we've had the schedule. So haha.
I like the way you immediately got defensive about not being here next week.
Well, I want to be here for previews. You know me. Previews. For my final thought before I go, I'm kind of warming up on the set, and that's a good thing because I'll actually be playing it. You know, Chewy said he didn't know if he'd get the opportunity, but Mike and I will be playing. Isn't that right, Mike?
That's right.
Yes, at GPDC. We're both pre-registered. So, yeah. We will be there. I'm looking forward to it. And I'm going to go. You guys have a great night. I'm Siggy.
Night, B.
Night.
For my final thought, do you know what you should never do for a meeting?
Fight a bear?
Besides that.
Oh.
So, today we had a meeting. And we had Chick-fil-A, we had all this stuff sitting out. And then the meeting got started, but no one was allowed to get the food before the meeting started.
That's a hard pass.
So this food sat out, tempting us with its aroma and my drastic need to, consume said food. And I had to sit through an hour meeting looking at this food going, why didn't you let us get this food before this meeting started?
Does that mean your chicken sandwich was cold and gross?
By the time I got to it, I didn't care.
That's how they get you.
I will say that the fact that my stomach is growling during this meeting, which I will also point out, had 2 musical numbers, because why the hell not? Why don't we have 2 staff members that sang during the staff meeting while everyone was looking at this food going, you know what would be awesome? To eat this food that is sitting in front of us. So yeah, that's my final thought. And with that, I am going to bed.
All right. Well, don't have any musical numbers on the way to bed, Dirk.
I won't. I'm going straight to bed. Bye.
Bye.
And no, Dirk does not work at Disneyland. Dirk is a teacher, which means they were bad musical numbers too. That's the worst part. All right. How about you, Mike?
Sorry, I just saw the bonjour chat. For me, gosh, it's hard to come up with something. Look, I am seriously like laying here on the couch. No, I don't have.
Are you about to get mauled by a bear, Mike? Are you playing dead? Because I think that's a myth.
No, really, what you just need to do, you just need to cover your front, and cover the back of your head and back of your neck, and hope. That's really your best bet. If you can't, make yourself look big enough to have the bear change its mind and go the other way.
I still remember the video of the dude with a bear that was coming at him, and he just started screaming at it. And eventually, after several minutes of like thinking about it, the bear was like, "Nah," and just left.
Yeah.
As he slowly like backed away from it through the woods, yelling things like, "Get on out of here, bear!" And the bear would stop and be like, "Is this dude serious?"
I mean, animals know if an animal comes across another animal that looks like it's crazy and you don't want to mess with it today, they'll consider their options. So that is an effective strategy to avoid getting smacked around by a bear.
I just saw in the Discord server, the power play is to use goat nap on your own goat just to buff its power.
And hey, sometimes that'll be exactly what you need.
Stark replied with life hack: kidnap your own goats to encourage productivity. That's hot. Anyway, so is that good for you then, Mr. Mike?
Yes, it is.
All right then. Then that means I have hiccups. Of course I have hiccups, because now we're doing the end of the show. So that just leaves me. So hey, if you want to check out the other stuff that I do, obviously we stream the Mana Pool and Monday Night Magic right here on twitch.tv/the Mana Pool. But I also stream other stuff. For instance, in the last several days, or however long, I have streamed some Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I think there's only one stream left of the World of Light mode, according to what chat tells me. So that'll be ending very soon. I've been streaming a lot of Dota Auto Chess lately because I have become enamored with it. By it? Of it. I don't know the proper word to use there with enamored, because I've heard them all and none of them sound right.
I think I would start with, but I think by can also work.
Yeah, and I think of if you're British for some reason. I don't know.
Yes, that's right. Of can work too.
But I am really hooked on it. It's Stark was enamored at it. Yeah, that's also true in his case. It's a mod inside Dota 2 that has nothing to do with Dota other than it uses Dota assets. It's a resource management game that I really have been enjoying. I actually, just earlier today, I turned my very first game that I streamed, which was horrible as far as gameplay, but I was explaining how it works. And so that'll be the first auto chess video that goes up on the YouTube channel. And then later I've got another one that I'm going to turn into a video that's a game that went really well and I finished, I think, second? Yeah, because I've only ever won one, and that was off stream. But
of course.
Yeah, but that means I'm getting better. Watching the first game that I streamed, I'd only been playing for like 3 days total at that point, and it was painful. And that was only streamed a week ago. So just in a week, I've gotten much, much better. I'm like looking at what I'm doing going, dude, no. No. So yeah, that'll be a thing that I stream fairly regularly because I just really, really enjoy it. And like my very first stream, either 2 or maybe 3 people in the chat all went, huh, and started playing it immediately.
That's good.
Yeah. Because, like I said, Dota's free to play, and the mod is free to play. Plus, Valve has already said they're making a standalone version soon-ish.
Huh.
So that should be vaguely terrifying, and hopefully won't cost an arm and a leg. But, yeah, it's a lot of fun. This is a thing that, like, exploded in popularity in, like, February or so.
Mm-hmm.
And I just recently picked it up because I'm behind the times. Also, the difficulties on that is entirely front-loaded, so I did a lot of watching other people play and, like, studying first. But, yeah, so that'll be going up on youtube.com/themanapool, along with more Smash Bros. Ultimate World of Light mode, which recently hit, I think, episode 53 is the one I uploaded today. So I think it's my longest running, like, numbered series that definitely has an endpoint. Like, Brawling with Buddies went forever, but that didn't have an endpoint. That was until I got sick of it. Like,
Yes.
that was just a weekly thing I did. So that's pretty cool. That'll be coming to an end soonish. Like I said, I think I've only got 1 full stream left to do, which means I've only got 2 streams left of videos, which should be something like 12 or 14 videos, depending on how long it takes. So that's pretty cool. Also, my run of The Legend of Zelda, the second quest, is another thing that's going up on YouTube right now. Which, I've said this before, but the second quest is like New Game Plus. When you finish The Legend of Zelda on the NES, the original, you can play again, and it's different. And not like just, the Goombas are Buzzy Beetles, like in Super Mario Bros. Like, it's completely, well, the dungeons are completely different, and a lot of the locations on the overworld are different.
Mm-hmm.
And everything's just generally harder and less intuitive.
Yeah.
So, it was a lot of fun. And those videos will be going up regularly, too, until that's done. So, sick. Also, I've got a Slay the Spire run that I did on stream a few days ago that was just silly, and I had no right winning it. So, so those will be going up. Probably 3 videos, like usual, on the YouTube channel at some point in the near future. Plus, the TMP Nerf report Mike and I did.
That's
for
right.
the Hearthstone nerfs just went up. And we'll be doing another one next week on the upcoming buffs in Hearthstone, which is a thing that has never happened at all. So, that's really cool. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the YouTube channel, I think. That's everything that is currently going up and will be going up in the near future. Yeah. And again, that's 1 YouTube video a day, every day, at minimum. When I have a bunch of them ready to go, I tend to put one up, like with a podcast. I'll have the podcast go up at 11 and then another video go up at 1. Haven't done that lately because I'm not far enough ahead to make sure that I can put up a second one without missing a day later. So.
Okay.
Yeah, if I'm far enough ahead, then I'll have a second video go up with podcasts straight up. But I'm not far enough ahead at the moment because I have lots of crap going on. But anyway, that's the YouTube stuff. 1 video a day. A stream on Twitch, both Monday Night Magic and the Manapool podcasts. And also, I try to stream at least 3 other nights a week. I might be expanding that in the relatively near future to include some daytime streams or something like that. So those of you in other parts of the world can stop by, hang out. It'll be cool. And yeah, if you want to help support what I do with this ridiculous amount of content creation, then you can go to patreon.com/themanapool and become a lifeguard. Get it? Manapool? Lifeguard? It's funny. See, Mike, jokes are funnier if you explain them. Jokes get even funnier when you explain that you're explaining them.
Yeah.
The comedy just goes up. See, now I'm explaining how I'm explaining that it's just being explained.
Right. It unfolds like a beautiful flower.
Yeah, or like a chiller pillar turning into a monstrous butterfly. Yeah, there are different tiers of lifeguards. You can become an uncommon lifeguard and get Manapool episodes and YouTube videos early. You can become a rare lifeguard and get the early access stuff and the odds and ends, which is everything recorded before and after both Monday Night Magic and the Manapool, behind the scenes sort of thing, where not only do we figure out what we're doing on the show and get into specifics, but we also just talk about whatever nerdy nonsense comes to mind. For instance, we recently did like a 2-hour post-show odds and ends on Captain Marvel when myself and Clues and Squee had seen them all. And then we did like an hour and a half post-show odds and ends on Endgame, since all three of us had seen it. And that's just like one example. I've also found that we talk about the same nerdy things when we're not recording. Mike, I'm talking to you at this point, but but like when Bill and I are just playing Overwatch, I find that we talk about the exact same things. So we're not like doing anything special for the odds and ends. It's just what we do. It's the damnedest thing. But anyway, there's one more tier, the Mythic Lifeguards. Get the early access, the odds and ends, and the sponsorship shout out on both podcasts and on the end screen for all the YouTube videos. So the Mythic Lifeguards this month are Kim Ho, Andrew Hunt, Al, Lance Delicious, Timu Hellas Haryu, Connor Kennedy, John Morris, Alex Gonzalez, Jeff Spencer, Stuart Slaw, PJ McMullen, Sophia Brattain, Casey, Fayen Says, Danny Liao, Jason Doan, Cody Buckowing, Jake Jansons, Jason Kaus, Gothic Man, Brian DeLucci, Stark Maximum, Keith Moody, John Parker, Aleph Cat, Dan Holm, Bartle, Mike Millerburn, and the Beast Father, Aaron Goodwine. What was that I heard? That is Pinball Witch throwing 55 bits and saying that's What's-His-Face's name. Oh my god, that was What's-His-Face. I'll be damned. So... yeah, that's a good place to stop. So with that, this has been the Manapool, number 553. Thank you all so very much for joining us, and go play some Magic.